Good morning everyone, and welcome to this new video series that I intend to make, in which I will try to show you what can be done even with a rather small amount of capital. In short, I will obviously try to carry out this video series to completion, all the things we can often do. I'm often asked, maybe many of you, and yes, people turn to prop houses precisely because they lack initial capital. But as I often tell you, they work very well, and anyone who manages to take advantage of them, all the better for those who can. But in my opinion, in short, you can find an alternative way with a fairly small amount of capital. In this video series, I assumed I had a really small amount of capital available, about $500 to start with, and out of these $500, obviously I assumed I would invest a portion for purchasing the Pro service and therefore the tools that the PRO service provides. So with all the indicators you see here ready on the platform, I also assumed, of course, that I would have to pay for a TradingView subscription for another $30, and a subscription, of course, for the data feed, in addition to having an operational account, which I assume to open with mBroker, which is my broker, but you can choose whichever one you prefer. Basically, I chose this one simply for convenience, and it allows me to request trading margin. So in certain situations, so there will be an increase in the required margin, and therefore we probably won't be able to trade, just as we won't be able to hold overnight positions, because full margin is required. But we can definitely trade with a very small margin, something like just $30, both for the mini ES, for the micro ES, and for the micro Nasdaq futures contracts, allowing for accessible trading. So really, with $300, which is more or less the capital we have left in the account. Now, this is the MetaTrader platform. Obviously, I have successfully loaded the essential levels and indicators onto the chart. Today, this is the chart of the mini N of the micro Nasdaq. This is the balance I have available. Obviously, I will be trading with one contract at a time, and we'll see what can be done simply by applying the levels. And that's basically my strategy, which of course you can all refer to. Basically, by trying to apply it, by reading the book, it's actually quite simple to put into practice. There are also comprehensive tutorial videos available to fully support you throughout your learning journey, where I meticulously explain all the essential and key points in great detail, ensuring a thorough understanding. Basically, the basics of my strategy. Okay, so let's start with this video. I'll be making some pauses since it's morning right now. Basically, I've decided to start these recordings. I'm moving the MetaTrader free from Dell to do the other chart so that I can have it on this chart. Basically, in front of me is the TradingView chart that I use for my analysis. And so this is actually the Nasdaq chart. But then, of course, I go and trade on the micro. At the moment, it's Tuesday, the 22nd of July. We started off a bit quietly. We broke through the daily range between RD0 and SD0, worked below it, retested it, and now we're working below SD1. So it's shaping up to be a bearish day, but even since last night, we can see that it formed a double top. The Nasdaq, in short, has been making lower highs and lower lows. So it could definitely, or rather we'll probably find room down to around the 23,220 area, maybe to test this low from which yesterday's upward movement started. At this moment, we have broken through SD2, which now, according to the strategy, turns into resistance if it gets retested from below. This is the dynamic and comprehensive profile of my current activity levels from the last hour, and it definitely gives us some very important and significant indications. Let's see. Anyway, now I'll probably pause the video since I don't intend to wait for the opening of the American markets, so that we'll see if we can make some trades. In any case, if I spot any opportunities, I'll start trading, and then in the video I'll explain in detail the reasons why I made that trade. Let's say we're working within the BC3 level area. We've just revisited the zone from yesterday's European market opening. This is today's, and this is the one from the regular trading hours. This one instead concerns today's European market opening. The trend is currently turning downward, probably also due to the fact that Jeremy Powell is currently under investigation. We'll see what developments may arise. Obviously, as instruments, I'll be using the micro Nasdaq or the MES, or in any case, micro contracts. At most, we might do something on gold or oil. We'll see. But for the most part, the trading activity will focus on the micro Nasdaq and the micro ES. Okay, so I've made this introduction. As I said, I'll be waiting for, obviously, the opening of the American markets, although even now there are already a few things happening. So in this London session, it would definitely be possible to trade, but I have some commitments to take care of, so I'll probably start making some trades later today in the early afternoon. Here we are again, recording once more, since we had left off earlier today. The market has recovered a bit from SD1, going on to test HV. This is true for the Nasdaq as well, which I'll show you. Also S, in fact, which even went above the HV level and is now at the BC3 level of the regular trading hour. So let's wait a few more minutes. It certainly seemed like it had recovered quite a bit from the significant pressure that initially appeared at the market open. So there was still a noticeable bit of downward pressure, but it basically remained well within its established daily trading range, except for this little slip. As for the Nasdaq ES, instead it stayed within SD0. So for now, we can definitely classify today as a clear range day. So obviously, when the market starts moving significantly, the first thing we'll evaluate is precisely this. So possibly a short position in the upper area. So 23,370, 23,380, maybe some shorts there, or some longs if the price goes back to retest 23,290, 22,992 basically. This area here will see us as buyers. Let's see for a moment what we can do. There are exactly 5 minutes left until the open, and there aren't any important macroeconomic data releases except for the speeches by Powell and Lagarde, but neither of them will be able to talk about monetary policy because they're in a blackout period ahead of the meetings in July. So we're already in the blackout period, and well, Powell has already spoken, saying that he wants stronger banks, that we need stronger banks in order to be able to compete. What impact this could have on the market? It hasn't really moved much. The market has somewhat stepped back from this situation for now, and we'll see. We're witnessing this recovery, and now we're waiting for these 3 to 4 minutes, after which we'll see what to do. I'll pause the video and reconnect exactly 1 minute before. Here we are again, 30 seconds left until the opening. The situation in short is the same as we discussed a few minutes ago. So in this area, you can see a short position with a mini or a micro, obviously placing the stop up here at 82 or 83. If this situation presents us with a significant opportunity for a long entry, perhaps from this specific area, you could also consider trying to enter. Although for the long position, I would personally advise waiting, because we currently observe a pattern of consistently lower highs and lower lows. Therefore, if we decisively break through this particular level, it could potentially reverse the trend and initiate an upward movement. Let's carefully observe the market. We have initially started off heading downwards with noticeably low trading volumes. Even today, the volumes remain subdued. Tendentially, we are leaning on the VR level, or they are testing the BC3 level. I haven't placed any orders yet. There's a bit of pressure, so I want to wait. I've placed a long order at 23,285 with a stop at exactly 23,272. I will now show you on MetaTrader. Here it is clearly entered. This is indeed the long buy limit order. Okay, buy limit, this is the stop. Let's see, we could also settle for closing the trade here if needed. Okay, we're in here. We are expecting to go up to 305. We could also try to take these 20 points. We're already securing 13. Obviously, with a capital like this, I require the risk-reward ratio to be more or less even. Otherwise, it becomes difficult. Let's say that at this point, I want to be free of risk. We'll take a few points. That's fine. We've managed to get something. We need to recover the cost of the investment made. It could definitely have closed a bit better, but I tried and will keep trying to act in order to preserve the capital and aim to bring home the result exactly as if it were your own account. Let's evaluate all the options. We've taken a little profit. Let's see if they okay, go for another test. Now maybe there's another opportunity. Let's take a look here on TradingView because we have a bit more information. For now, volumes are coming in here as well. The price at which we entered was still valid. We would be wow, we wanted to lock in a little profit right away. We obviously need to try to maximize our efforts because we are starting from a significant disadvantage since we clearly have quite limited capital available. There's only a small amount left. We will still diligently try to achieve our primary goal. Let's see now, if I had waited, I probably would have hit the target. We would have maximized the investment, but that's fine as the first trade of this experiment, of course. In short, it's something I've never done with such a small amount of capital. Honestly, I don't really know how it will turn out, but I'll take full responsibility even if it fails. Because we always put ourselves out there in everything we do, but still it's a challenge I find fun and stimulating. Let's see where it takes us. Russell and Dow Jones moving in the opposite direction from the Nasdaq with practically opposite candlesticks. Let me show you this chart. This is the Dow Jones and this is the Russell. A recovery of 307. Let's see if we can recover SD0, which at this point obviously no longer acts as support but as resistance. You can see how it stopped the downward movement at first. If SD0 is recovered, we could see a test of BCT 322 and another test at 300, and we could also consider getting back into a long position, but for now this is the candlestick that's dominating basically in this initial phase, which has set the tone for now. Let's look at these other two opening candlesticks. We are talking about the first 15 minutes of trading, which are the ones I refer to with the BC3 indicator. Anyway, I'll try to make a few trades, but I won't be here all day. So I'll make a few trades, and if I don't have time to record them, I'll report back to you, obviously showing you the profit and the loss, which is here. At the moment, this is the account. This is today's session, and this is the history starting from today. This is what we've achieved today so far in the only trade made. Basically, a quick trade that definitely could have been managed better by leaving the stop unchanged and waiting for the target, which would have been hit. But I was a bit hasty. Also because the micro Nasdaq is a bit more volatile than the DNQ. Sometimes there are price discrepancies compared to its bigger sibling. I really need to manage the timing a bit more carefully and precisely when it comes to the micro. But we will definitely get there. You know, I usually work with the larger minis, so it absolutely takes a significant bit of adjustment in managing these particular things. Okay, 7 minutes have passed, and for now this candle is still the same. There's the important one. Basically, it shows that there's more of a downward trend. Now the pressure is also increasing in volume in terms of intensity, so this tells us that volumes are still coming in on the downside. Obviously this is a tool, the GPS 2.1 tool, which is part of the Pro and Premium service. Nasdaq a bit stuck at the moment. Today the others are moving and it has almost completely retraced the candle. The volume pressure is decreasing, the pressure is downward. Let's see, possibly if we can, as I previously mentioned, catch a long position, perhaps a little bit higher this time around. That would be ideal. I'm still right here, guys. I'm really trying my absolute best to stay completely focused and attentive, to try to see some good opportunities, and above all the timing. We need to try to be, let's say, well in sync with the timing, because we have very little margin obviously, so the timing and the choice of trades must be suited to our available capital, because even when placing a stop with a small margin, the chance of hitting, let's say, tight stops obviously increases the difficulty. Chevrolet Nasdaq is currently telling us that the pressure remains bearish, let's say bearish, leaning a bit more towards the downside. You can see how it has just broken the lows of the previous candles, so it's finding a new evolving balance. Let's consider that a very good and achievable target could definitely be identified within this specific area right here, which precisely corresponds to the significant numerical value of 23,250. This particular point could indeed serve as a primary and important target for our consideration. At the moment, there's an attempt to continue. I won't go long in this moment. I'm waiting for a break of this 2.70 level. A particular move, why not, could even become quite interesting, perhaps even captivating right now. Maybe taking a contrarian trade, a long position, could be a strategic move. Even though there's some pressure, it doesn't seem to react immediately at these lows, so there's probably a desire to break them. Let's wait for these lows. We could even risk a short, but I think we're at the lower end of this range where it shouldn't be broken. So I expect the price to go a bit lower and then recover. This is the scenario that I imagine could happen. Here we are breaking the lows. Only the 22.48, 22.46 level could interest me as a price point. If we set an 11-point stop loss, let's try to enter at exactly 46, even though we might be a little early. Volumes are coming in. We can see it from the color candles on the WLC. The volume pressure is increasing. We're currently at the lower target level of the GPS, specifically between 22 and 60. It touched this precise level perfectly and then reacted immediately. There's pressure. Guys, there's downward pressure, at least on the Nasdaq. At this moment, one could have tried the short here. But as I said, since we have few bullets available because we're starting with a small capital, I decided not to take this trade, even though that's the trend. Short, let's say temporarily, given the environment we're in, but if we zoom out, we realize we're looking at a certain time frame. This is a sideways day, but the momentum has definitely been upward lately. Let's reopen it. I didn't place the order at 2.46, just chatting. Unfortunately, I missed it. Let's see if it holds on the second attempt. Broken, so we'll probably land here. 1.2252. Place the order with a stop of 10. Okay, order placed at 25. It didn't get filled at all. The contrarian order from SD2, but we haven't entered yet. We have a stop. Let's see a bit lower. If we can get in, we'll try. No, nothing. It didn't get filled at all, really. Let's see. Too bad, because honestly, that was exactly the trade to make. I had truly pictured it with this rather contrarian move. No, unfortunately, it didn't quite work out as I had hoped. It missed me by almost nothing at all. I'm not sure whether to keep it now or not. Let's go ahead and delete it, because I think maybe on the second attempt, let's see if volumes are still coming in. So it's likely that on the second attempt, we'll also break through this low. We could try to enter long here, a real contrarian move right at this point, a slight overshoot of the level, hunting for stop losses. Let's see. We're still here. And the UVHV, obviously, the weekly one is important. If it were to break, this movement could intensify. We have lower highs and lower lows. This trade was absolutely valid, but I didn't feel like taking it because it could have bounced. I just didn't feel like it. Again, because of the limited capital available, we can't afford to make too many mistakes. That's kind of what's happening. It's quite comparable to the situation with prop house accounts. This strategy ensures that I will achieve a minimum return of 2.1, or at the very least providing a solid baseline for performance. Here I'm expecting a bounce. From this level, the pressure is there, it's increasing. This too should be a good opportunity to short, because after all, the level was broken, retested from below, and then it made a new low. If the 205 level gets decisively taken out, we are very likely heading straight down from here, potentially all the way to the significant support level at 160. Let's see if it would also break through the range bridge 3 from the last 2 days. And so this would give a further acceleration. In my opinion, it will give an additional push to the downside. Obviously, I can't enter with such a margin, so I can wait. Do you see how the price is moving? It's immediately slipped down to 180. We missed a good opportunity. Well, we didn't catch it, but I repeat, capitalize go, we need to check. Perhaps Powell's recent words are having some noticeable effect, or the market is actually starting to get quite worried. And this is starting to stir things up a bit. We've broken out of the BC3 range. I'm waiting for a retest, probably around the HW 2.28 level maybe. And now we need to look for a good spot to go short if we get the opportunity. Right now, I won't try any contrarian moves because, well, do you see how the volumes are coming in? The pressure is increasing, so no contrarian trades at these levels. Obviously, we're on the VX cluster, but volumes keep coming in ever since the minimum. Still, I'd like to try a quick long trade, but they are really sweeping everything away because this whole move up isn't happening with high volumes. As we said, it's on low volumes, though there is a bit more volume now. They're clearing everything out. I haven't tried it. Obviously, we're already at the veil or area level. Volumes are coming in, watch out, because the day is turning out to be quite directional. It's becoming short. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get in. We'll consider possibly a return to the 170 area, maybe for a short entry. Also on ES, same thing, volume entry. Well, no guys, here you have to take a bit of a risk. If it doesn't enter there, then as soon as if it gives us any opportunity, we take it on the fly. But the price is always directional, so I don't like chasing the price. So I'll wait for a bit of a retracement, if anything, and then we'll go short. We don't have to feel forced to trade at all costs. If we miss the move, Let's wait for a really good entry opportunity, but rushing in blindly is useless. And then with a bit of a retracement, we end up taking a pointless stop loss. We're just hanging in there on VS0. There's an attempt at a rebound at the monthly level, so we've re-entered the monthly range. We've successfully retaken this significant high point, so we've essentially re-entered the previous trading range once again. Therefore, please be extremely careful, everyone. We could be in for an interesting day. A bearish one. I'm considering whether this is just a possible continuation of this move. It looks like it wants to break the lower end of the range. There's still pressure, even if it's easing a bit, but it's still there. Pressure is now decreasing. Still breaking the lows with volume, always with volume, at least on NQ. A bit less on ES, but still with incoming volume. We're waiting. From here, a nice rebound could start, but I repeat, it's a significant commitment to carry on this challenge with such a small amount of capital. I'll have to apply filters, but from here, in any case, you definitely could have tried a good long, basically a quick scalp from the level. This green line you see is a MR0 level. Now we're breaking through. This crosshair could work. A little long position. It should have been entered earlier from lower down. I'm still here. If we were to break through 170, there could be a recovery underway. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch this one either. There was an opportunity, but I wasn't decisive enough to take it. I always repeat it because I have to act to preserve this minimum capital. Now here it is, basically a test of 170 to 160F from above. It would be nice, but even if it continues here from 180, it could push the price a bit higher. Perhaps a comprehensive and thorough test, specifically within the designated BC 3211 area, would have certainly meant gaining entry at precisely 160. I didn't feel like placing it. The order on the previous candle, volume pressure, which now clearly shows us a significant recovery, indeed a very good recovery in buying volume. Has this attempt to break through this candle been absorbed? In short, the chances that it could go up now are increasing. If it's not following along, I'm looking at another monitor next to me. There's a battle going on right now. Both scenarios could happen because we have this recovery with volumes that were working above a level that now acts as resistance. So if we're to break through it, the target would be 23,220. Volumes are coming in on the upside, but they're always a pain. The price is running away. I'll have to get used to commenting less and working more, otherwise I won't get much done. If we had listened to the volume pressure, we would definitely be long. I've placed an order at 182, still long, with an 11-point stop. I'll show you, here it is, still with a micro lot. Let's hope we can get here. Okay, it set our take profit. I don't want to do like before. We need to preserve our capital, so even if it's just a little, we have to close early. Let's hope the level holds, gives us other opportunities, or else we'll just have to record this stop. We're at the stop, guys. We're not moving it at all for consistency, maybe just a few points below 160. I could have said it. Let's acknowledge it. We've paid the price. I definitely should have exited that trade. In the game, we're a bit down. At the moment, we've lost about $11.50. But now I think if I had moved it just a little bit, the stop always needs to have a logic. How much we're making, I'm considering possibly entering a short position since we haven't gone any higher. I quickly placed a short order, again with an 11-point stop, carefully considering the risk involved. I'll show you here. Here it is, the sell. Let's go and make something truly wonderful and amazing. A few points further down, I placed no exit order. Here, you see, the margin level is really minimal. I saw the price reach here, very delayed. Unfortunately, since the camera is actively recording, the live connection is experiencing a noticeable amount of lag, which is causing some significant delays. I risk hitting another stop. Let's move the point. I'd be satisfied here. We could already close now and recover the loss we took. but I'd like to try to close in the green if they give us the chance. If it breaks through here at 168 like it's doing, we can definitely protect our capital, recover the commissions. Let's see if it breaks through here strongly now. We get a candle. It must not go above 168. Now obviously I'm showing it from here, but we can obviously only at 168. It must not go, otherwise we close quickly. It's just us. So it went there for a moment. Let's hope it goes down. Keep going. Come on, hang in there guys, help me. Nothing to do. Wait for a downward acceleration now for it to break 160. Nothing to do. We should have closed, definitely gone back to $20. We could have taken home even $10 of profit, but I hope the level holds. If it goes further down to find a good balance lower, nothing to do. They're going to get me. I'm giving you a play-by-play, just as I imagine you would do it yourselves. Come on, I want to hold on. I don't care even if we take a bit of a loss, but now let's at least protect the loss we've taken so we break even. There it is. They got us right away. We're just a few dollars down. Unfortunately, there's a trend. I should have held on a bit longer, because otherwise now it's going. It's a shame, but it's always about trying to preserve capital. Yeah, it's a shame. I should have held with the stop and changed. If it breaks here, we're definitely going here. Let's move over here, and we will also observe some other interesting elements. We're still here in the VIX cluster. We're making an attempt at the BC3 range. If it manages to recover this range, there's a good chance we'll see it happen. HW, if it gives me the opportunity, in the 91 to 92 area. I placed a long order at 92.5. Oh, to be precise, we're still in with pre-stop at exactly 81.5. Here it is. I'll show you. It was triggered at this 92 level, which could give a push a bit higher. Let's see here as well. The stop should be placed below the S1 level, which is 78. Let's see if they give us an upward push to at least reach 203, 204. That's perfect. I'll stick with this. Let's follow from here, because I need to see if we can break through 206 with strength. Alright, let's move. Obviously I've moved the stop a bit to 96. Let's see if the movement continues and we can grab something, but I'm waiting for a burst. Here comes the liquidity. Perfect. I definitely want to do it. Now I can't move it in time. I need to be careful to close and maximize. Come on, just a bit more. Come on, let's go up. If we now get past 207, then there's a good chance the trade will be successful. Let's say I'll attach a trailing stop at 6.25. This way, basically, I can follow it automatically, because my connection is a bit slow, as I mentioned. Let me show you first. Right now, this is the trade. We're up by $50. Let's see if we get another push here. If they break through this level, basically, let's try to grab a few more points. 38. Let's lock them in so we secure a good margin of profit moving forward. Hopefully, we can manage to take home a bit more. I could also close out this trade, but as I mentioned. Anyway, let's set it here at 31 to stay below the open of this candle here, since we need to stay above it to have any chance of breaking through between 2 and 20. Or we could even consider closing the trade right here, and then we just call it a day. There you go, they end up catching me anyway. Anyway, whatever it is, we'll just take it as it comes, and let's see if we can make a few more trades. If it breaks here, if it breaks 220, that's when the fun starts, because we'll be breaking through this level as well, this level. Here, basically, the target should be 280, could be 280. I forgot to remove this damn trailing stop. 3, 2, 1. Stay in. Maybe we can just take this good result home and call it a day. This particular video, or perhaps I will provide you with an update on the final outcome if I ultimately decide to discontinue this project, but it's likely that now there will be a bit of a pullback and they'll close me out. So it would probably be better to close it now. Now the trade, unless they suddenly speed things up right now and break through, taking us straight to 230, 3,200. Otherwise, well, they'll close out the trade on us. We can take home $35, and honestly I wouldn't mind not losing 50. A good increase in profit. Switching to the other chart, and anyway, I'll show you if it closes the trade for me. It's about to close. Unfortunately, I'm still in. The trade is closed. too bad, because I could have definitely sworn on it. More, we made $31, we're up $30, which on an initial capital of 300 is about 10%. So that's fine. We have to relate everything to what we have. Let's say our resources. Obviously, I don't think it will drop much from here. There's probably still some room for an upward move. I'll take a break and maybe continue later with a new video.